Let me know what the volume is like here, team. Let me know. See, the problem is I can't get my hair cut now, and so my hair is just growing out, and my hair is naturally curly. And so I have like really curly hair. And so when I wake up in the morning, my hair is just kind of like, you know? And I'm getting to the point where I don't care about it. I can't go get a haircut, and I hate my hair long because it's too crazy, man. But I gotta stay home. And so if it gets too long, I'm gonna grow long hair like an 80s rocker, you know. But my hair will probably be all wavy. Oh man. What's up, guys? Good morning. It is a beautiful Wednesday, March 25th. What's up, team? Hope everyone is doing well today. Yeah, man. As I've gotten older, though, Daniel says, who else wakes up at 5 a.m., makes coffee, does brain teasers to sharpen the mind before the market? That is actually something that both Mitch and I do. We wake up a lot of the time, and we do something. We just do something to make sure I do something to make sure I'm awake. And so sometimes that will be like coding something, because you really got to think about coding stuff or it's going to turn out terribly. And so usually I'll code something. Lately I've been making a React web application, and so usually it'll be code, or it'll be like I'll play a game of Xbox, if I'm being honest, because that'll keep me up. That'll wake me up as well. If anybody wants to get beat at UFC 3 on Xbox, you get beat up. Only on Xbox, though, you know. But what's up, guys? Yeah, I found out why my stream is getting terrible views. My stream is getting terrible views because YouTube has restricted bandwidth across their entire platform for the next month. And so nobody's getting good views right now. I checked all the other channels that are competing with me, and they're not getting good views either. And so, yeah, that's what it is. It's just YouTube's restricting bandwidth across all platforms. And so, yeah, that's what it is. Yes, I did make money yesterday. Watch, I can show you the video. So if you watched the stream yesterday, at the very end of the stream, I actually rebounded. I started to scalp, and I started to show people how I scalp and like how I did it. And I went from being down like 60 to being up like 50 or 40. And then right as soon as the stream ended, something that I was calling out before the stream ended happened, which was the market spiked up, and I was able to scalp that. And I made some money. I can't remember what it was on, but I can check real quick and I can show you the video. I know I did record it. What was yesterday? The 24th. Yeah, let me make sure. Yeah. So this is my trading from yesterday. So this was after the stream. Let me make it a little bit smaller. I guess I'll leave it here for a second. So like this was after the stream. The stream ended. I immediately pressed record, right? And the market spiked, and so I was able to scalp AMD for a really nice win, really easy win. Look, you can just see it here. It's a 2-minute video. I can play it, but yeah, I was able to scalp AMD. I got in with like 2,500 shares or so because I was waiting for this move in the market, and so I knew if I scalped it there, I could really make a pretty solid win. So you can see I scalped it really quickly, took profits, and then took 500 off there. Waited, and I think I let this last little 500 work a little bit too long, and I only ended up making like $157, I think, if I remember correctly, something like that, 150 something. But I was able to scalp the move over and over again, and this is what I've been doing in the market. It's been working super well. Let me see when I decide to take it off. So I take another 250 off there, and at that point I have already netted $159, and I think I just told the rest break even. But yeah, this was the one trade I got into after the stream. Once the stream was over, the market just spiked up, and which was a really suited move to scalping. So yeah, that was it. So $172. You can see me taking pictures of it to post to Discord there. But yeah, that was my day in yesterday. So $172. I roll a blunt and smoke it. I like it, Lewis. I like it. See my wife poking her head in there. I didn't realize that. But yeah, I'm happy with it. Let's see what my account's at. Here we go. I broke the $2,100 level. So I'm at $2,113 in profit. That's good. I'll take that. What's up, Junior? What's up, the best? Hey guys, I'm new here, got this channel recommended by a friend. Is this focused on trading bots? No, it's not. I trade, and I'm also a programmer, so I know a little bit of Python. Mostly a front-end JavaScript developer though. And so, yeah, but the thing about us is that we just day trade live every day. So like we trade live every single weekday morning and just kind of let people watch us trade. We are not experts here. We are not gurus. We're not selling courses. We just kind of let people watch us trade, and that's it. Alright, so let's take a look at the market here. I think the stimulus bill was passed, and I'll have to look up some news. And so the market is actually up 2 days in a row at least, gapping up. Market's up still. It's actually down from where it closed yesterday. So if we look at the previous closing price, that's the previous close. So we're actually below that. And that is something to pay attention to. We got the previous close at 243.15, and this might be suited to scalp some moves like I did the other day with that. But yeah, there's the market. We could look at HAPP here, RWT, gapping up. We can start looking up some catalysts today. So I'm going to go ahead and start. The first one I'm going to look up is HAPP. It's just at the top of the list today. And definitely a biotech stock. So yeah, they are up after they announced that they are developing they announced a breakthrough in developing COVID-19 tests. And I can go ahead and read this, and this is from BZ Newswires. It's an innovative China, and this is all quoting, quote, an innovative China nutraceutical and dietary supplement producer announced today that the company, together with Fuzhou University, has achieved a breakthrough in developing COVID-19 tests. Currently, the main COVID-19 detection method is nucleic acid detection, and the average detection takes 6 hours roughly, while the misdetection rate is high and the cost is high. In the past 2 months, the company has been dedicated to developing a more efficient and affordable testing kit for COVID-19 through its biomedical laboratory that the company jointly established with schools of bioscience and engineering, Fuzhou University. The company made a breakthrough and successfully developed the colloidal testing kit by adopting the antibody detection method. The colloidal gold testing kits innovatively use multiple target tests combined with IgM and IgG tests, which greatly improve the detection sensitivity and detection rate of the IgM antibody in clinical patients is more than 70% that of the IgG antibody in convalescent patients in more than 90%. The testing kits not only greatly improve the success rate of detection, but also greatly shorten the detection time to 10 to 15 minutes. End quote. All from, again, BZ Newswires, and that is HAPP. We'll see what happens with that. We also have RWT with no volume, really. We got ARI here, gapping up. CTSO, which is Cytosorbit. They're gapping up pretty strong here. I want this volume meter outside of this. I don't want the overlap volume. There we go. That's what I want. And so there we go at CTSO here. Alright, so Cytosorbit says that Cytosorb has been used in more than 70 coronavirus patients. Wait a minute, I'm sure somebody's I haven't even checked the chat, but I'm sure somebody's yelling at me that the music is too loud. Is it too loud? here. That's better. All right. Now that you can see, yeah. So Saitos Orbit. They are up after they said they have been used in more than 70 coronavirus patients to help, quote, treat cytokine storm and life-threatening complications such as acute respiratory syndrome. Interesting. It's a blood purification program. We also have TWO. Capping up, we got HA, Save. We got a few Spirit. Is this Spirit Airlines? I gotta find out. It is. Spirit Airlines is up. Let's see what the other airlines are doing. They're up. So airlines are back up some. They're bouncing a little bit. We got Delta, UAL. Yeah, all the airlines are up. We got Save, UAL, DAL, which is Delta, all gapping up some today as well here. Yeah, and this just seems like it's the sector, the airline sector. We got American Airlines here as well, gapping up some. SPR, UAL, RCL Cruise, BA, which is Boeing, Ali, Financial, gapping up some as well. But yeah, then we got the overall market. I'm going to look up the overall market news, and we'll probably go over this twice just so if people join late. Like I said, YouTube is limiting the bandwidth across their entire platform, and so that is why the stream has been getting worse views. That is why we have had less people here. And if you notice, when you watch a video on YouTube now, the definition is automatically standard definition. It's not automatically high definition, and you can change it to HD if you want, but it's generically standard definition. And so yeah, that's the big thing. And so we're probably gonna get less views. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Whatever we need to do to combat this, that's okay. I don't think my music's too loud today. I'm looking at the volume right now. It looks pretty low. Let me check it real quick just to see if people are being unnecessarily strict with me here. Let me see. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Whatever we need to do. Wait, Adam, I was showing up in your subscription feed because my views are still pretty light, man. I had to send a big message out to everybody. I literally just pushed out a big message in the community section, like, yo, our stream has started, so people would see it. After this virus hoax, which kills less people than the flu, I'll be switching from long-term trading to day trading. Hey, well, be careful, brother. We had a contractor that was here the other day. We had a contractor that was here yesterday, and he saw my monitors and he saw my green screen and he saw all my screens and stuff like that. And he was like, yo, well, what do you do? And I told him, I was like, yeah, I run a day trading channel and develop web applications and a few other things. And he was like, oh, that's cool. I want to get started day trading. And I immediately told him, I was like, no, you don't. I was like, you'll probably lose money for a solid 2 years at least. And then I told him, I was like, look, I run a resource channel. I am not an expert or a guru. We just put out content that benefits traders for free, right? We just put out free content that helps traders. I am not an expert. I'm still trying to be super profitable myself. and a large majority of people lose money. And so you can get started day trading, but you got to have a reasonable understanding that you're probably going to lose for years, and you're going to lose money for those entire few years when you first get started. And so if you're okay with that, go on and do it. But most people aren't. Most people get involved with it to make money, and you don't really make money for the first year or two. It's not something that, you know. Yeah, Mark Cuban is the true hero. What's up, all about the Benjamins? Can I just call you Benji? You know. But yeah, market's up. Let me go ahead and look up the catalyst for the market today. And we're not doing that bad. Like, normally our streams will get like 200 to 300 people in here. Sometimes over that. You know, last week we had like 350 people here and, you know, 400 people here. And so our streams get pretty good numbers. When I say that, I'm talking specifically about simultaneous viewers, right? Our streams get pretty big numbers for the most part. This week we're running at like, we got like 160 people in here. So Mitch and I immediately were like, yo, what's going on? We checked it. YouTube is limiting bandwidth across their entire platform. And so I'm sure that comes with cuts and stream numbers, and that's okay. Hopefully it doesn't last too long, but well, yeah, most people lose money. It's just part of it. I'm not saying you're going to lose money, because there's always outliers. You know, there's always outliers that make money, but they're extremely rare, and a lot of the time that's just pure dumb luck, you know. Because I've said it before, trading is not about learning a course, like watching a guru, learning, you know, how to trade, and then just making all this money. It's not about that, man. It takes time to condition your emotions to do the right things. You can know the right thing to do. It doesn't mean you're actually gonna do it, especially in trading. You know, you might know you're supposed to exit there and the stock's going against you and you're supposed to take a loss, but you might say, well, YOLO, you know, or, well, I'm just going to hold it a little bit longer and see what happens. You know what I mean? The last words of a trader, right? And then the stock just goes completely against them. A $200 loss turned into a $2,000 loss. And then they're sitting there like, man, day trading's rigged. It's impossible to be successful. La la la. You know, when the reality is, it takes a while to condition yourself to be like, that's my exit. I'm getting out of this thing. You know? And that takes time. Most people can't do that. Most people say, I'm going to give it a little while and see what happens. Because nobody likes to lose money. And it's a normal thing. Right. You hear that, Scott? You hear that, man? You know? Makes me want to learn freaking piano, man. You know, I could play guitar and drums, but it makes me want to learn piano. You know, I can also play the trombone, so I can play the trombone, guitar, and drums. All mediocre. All mediocre. I'm not good at any of them, but I can play, kind of. You know. Yeah, I know, Walter. Yeah, they're limiting the what was it? The bandwidth across all. You know, it is what it is. It's cool. Bandwidth is limited. Who's T-Dot? Alright, but yeah, this is the market. Let's look at the market news, team. The coronavirus isn't a hoax, man. The coronavirus, like, that's ridiculous. Like, it's a scary thing. Like, the coronavirus is no joke, man. And people are, like, it's not a hoax. Trust me. Listen. I promise you this, okay? Trump, the market was doing well before the coronavirus. If it was a hoax, Trump would certainly tell us. Trump would certainly tell us if this was a hoax. And listen, I don't like Trump, but I know Trump's not happy that the market is tanked right before his election. And so I'm sure people are like, oh, it's the evil Democrats that are going to try to, you know, ruin Trump's presidency. It's not that. Like I've said it before, the N coronavirus, the N stands for novel, which just means new. Right? Novel means new. And the reason they say it's the new coronavirus is because it's a virus that we haven't experienced before, and our bodies do not have a natural immunity to it because it comes from animals. There's two types of viruses. There's human viruses and there's viruses that come from animals. This is a virus that comes from animals, and so subsequently we do not have that immunity to fight it. And so we are less prepared for this virus. We don't know how to treat it as effectively, and it attacks our system in a worse way because we don't have natural immunity to it. And so, is it as bad as they're saying it is? Probably not. But there's no reason we shouldn't be safe. You know, there's no reason you shouldn't stay home if you can. And so, in the end, it's not a hoax. You can see what it did to China, what it's doing to Italy. To say it's a hoax is ridiculous. Look at Italy. You know. And Italy has one of the largest populations of older people, and so that's why it's negatively affecting Italy like that. And we just got to look at it for what it is and combat it. I think most people will be fine, but in the end, it's not about the young people; it's about the old people too. Hey, I appreciate the sub, Walter. Thank you, man. I appreciate the sub, brother. Welcome to the team, man. Just to give you guys a little lesson on the coronavirus this morning, you know. But I appreciate that, brother. Thank you for the support, man. My man, Walter, with that sub. Thanks, bro. I didn't say the Dems were a hoax. I said, Trump might have said that. But like I said, the reality is if Trump thought the coronavirus was a hoax, he would certainly come out with that, because the market was doing well before this, and he was looking good for the new election year, right? I'm not even saying I would have voted for him. I'm just saying overall, objectively, the market was doing good. That would have benefited his election, certainly. Now the market's not doing good, and so if he thought something was If he thought people were just lying to try to ruin his presidency, he would certainly come out and say that. The reality is we do have a pretty crazy virus that's out there right now. And, you know, you just got to see it for what it is and take the necessary precautions. Oh, you like that, Scott? You like my Beast Mug, bro? I got my Baymax Beast Mug, sir. Don't judge me. This thing's huge. I'm gonna have a heart attack if I drink all the coffee in this thing, man. But what's up, bro? Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. You know, I invest in colloidal silver. Yeah, my wife's got a bunch of that stuff. I don't think it does anything. I think it's just something that preppers sell to people to make money. I don't know if he's going to win. I'm not saying he should win. I think Trump's dumb in a lot of ways. And I think that, I know some people are going to get mad at me. I do think he screwed this up a little bit, man. I think he objectively screwed this up a little bit. And I've defended Trump in the past, but I still think he screwed this up a little bit. And like I said, I don't shill for either side. I try to look at policies. Trump is dumb in a lot of ways, and I think he screwed this up in some ways. I don't think he's an evil president like people make it out to be either, though. I think he's just a rich billionaire, you know? And you can't really expect that much from them. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be an election. Yeah, Two-Way made a good post. In 2018, Trump actually fired America's pandemic response team. Never replaced them. In January, a report was given about the COVID-19, but instead of actually prepping us, he was so worried about the market dropping and hurting his re-election that he didn't do much for a month or so. it's hard to tell. To his defense, though, it's going to be kind of hard to tell how severe this is going to get in the U.S., what the overarching effects of this virus is ultimately going to be. And so I'm trying to look at it fairly, but I do think we should have had more tests. It's a tricky situation. I don't know if I would have done any better, but I do think he screwed this up in a lot of ways too. And of course, if you ask him, he's going to say I did a fabulous job. He's never going to say he did a bad job, and he's always going to harp on the points and the things that he did well and never say or speak on the things he didn't do well. And that's just your normal politician. But, in the end, it's tough, man. It's tough. Like I said, I think he screwed it up in some ways. Right, and that's the talking points he'll keep repeating, Adam. He'll keep saying, oh, I was ahead in travel restrictions, and that's great. He was. Good for him. He did a good job at that. I'm not hating on him for that. But in a lot of other ways, he screwed it up, And of course, like I said, he's going to stress the things he does well, and he's never going to talk about the things he didn't do well. And there were some things he didn't do well. And so, it is what it is. Like I said, I don't shill for either side here. I don't necessarily like him or dislike him. I think he's dumb in some ways. He's done some things okay too. And so I'm not, like I said, I don't shill for either side. Alright guys, but yeah, let's go ahead and look up the market news. But yeah, that's my take on it. Like I said, I don't shill for either side here. I just try to look at it for what it is. And like I said, the problem is one-dimensional news sources. Like, people only listen to the source, right? So it's like, if you listen to Trump, Trump's gonna be like, oh, I did this right, I did this, a fabulous job. He's gonna never talk about the things he didn't do well, because Trump's not that, like, he's not stupid. I say he's stupid, but he's not stupid. I think he makes some bad decisions, but you don't get to his situation from being dumb for the most part. At the same time, though, he's never going to talk about his flaws and the things he does wrong. And so if you're just going by what he says, of course he's going to say we did an amazing job, we did it better than everybody else, yada yada yada. And that's, I get it, but in the end you got to look at other sources too, and look at how it really went down, and objectively speaking, how well did he respond. But yeah, so we got an ETF preview. I'm going to go ahead and read this, and this is all quoting from MT Newswires. This is the overall market. This is the SPY right here. And so you can see the SPY is actually breaking over that previous closing price at around 243. I'm going to go ahead and quote this, and again, this is from MT Newswires. Quote, stock futures were mixed to lower ahead of the open, with gains stemming from news that the Trump administration and U.S. senators have reached a deal on the $2 trillion stimulus package that will support the country's economy amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The expected package of the stimulus bill follows the expansion of the U.S. Fed Reserve's credit facilities to ensure more loans flowing to households and businesses to spur lending, borrowing, spending, and investment. The new credit limit inspired a rally in financial markets, including Hong Kong, on Tuesday. In economic data news, durable good orders of February showed a month-on-month increase of 1.2% compared with estimates for a decline of 0.7%. Excluding transportation, the change was for minus 0.6% versus expectations for minus 0.3%. For core capital goods, the reading was minus 0.8% compared with estimates of 1%. Looking ahead, the Fed Reserve Housing Finance Agency, which is FHFA, house price index will be out at 9 Eastern, it should have just come out, with expectations for a January reading of 0.4% compared with the 0.6% in the previous months. We can also take a look at commodities here, and we can look at crude. UWT is a good crude ETF that I look at to determine what crude's doing. It looks like crude is down. Yeah, crude is down 2%. The U.S. oil fund is down 2%. Natural gas is up 1%, and the U.S. natural gas fund is down 0.2%. Gold is down 1%. We can look at gold here. You can see it down. Lower volume, while Spider Gold Trust is down 1%, Silver's up 1.8%, and iShares Silver Trust is down 1.8% as well. So yeah, that's the market news today, guys. Right now we are essentially breaking over the previous close if we can. Here's the SPY. This is the previous closing price. And we are fighting that level now. So this blue line right here is the previous close from yesterday. It's where we closed. And so I think that'll be a huge level. We're roughly break even right now. Name one thing he didn't do well. He fired the pandemic response team in 2018 and never rehired a new one. He knew this information in January and never really acted on it until months later. And yeah. He blocked testing kits from the WHO so that Jared Kushner's brother could get the testing contract, which pushed it back substantially and made it so that we didn't have as many tests as we needed to early on. So those are objective facts. Listen, I'm very financially conservative. I'm socially liberal, obviously, but I'm very financially conservative. Not fully a libertarian because I disagree with them in a lot of ways too. But you know, he wasn't perfect. I'll say that. Alright guys, but yeah, that's the market news team. SPY's testing these levels. We'll see what we get today. Like I said, my account is finally at $2,100, over $2,100 in profit. As you can see here, like I said, I could show my trade from yesterday too. This is my trade from yesterday. Made some money, luckily enough, and when the market spiked, I went ahead and scalped. I was up 44 and I made, let's see, in this last trade I made 130 bucks. You can see me taking profits. Ended the day up 170 something. $172.75 in profit. That was my day yesterday. You can see me clipping it to add to our Discord. But yeah, good day, green day. Market is break even right now. Technically it's red because it's below the previous close, but we're right around that now. We're pretty close to it. This blue line right here is the previous close. It's basically what tells you if stocks are going green or red. And this blue line right here is the previous close, and so we are technically below that right now, but we're pretty close to break even. And so it's basically a break even day, not super green or red. If you want to make sure I get it, Riley, just send me a message on Discord and I'll check for you. But I appreciate you looking out. But yeah, if you got one for me and you want to make sure I got that, here, I'll post the link. And just join our Discord, send me a message, and I'll check to be sure. But I appreciate the thought regardless, you know. There's the link to our Discord chat room if you want to check that out. Let me get Mitch in here. Alright, so yeah, the market's actually trying to break over that previous close. Yo, we got Mitch in here. Let me turn the volume down so we can hear him.
I was jamming to the music.
Hey, bro, the music goes hard, man. The music goes hard, dude. But yeah, we got Mitch in here, guys. Alright, you should be good. Let me know what the volume's like, team.
Yeah. What's going on, guys? Good morning.
Volume should be good. Let me know if the music is too low. It might be. But
All right.
what's up,
Good
guys?
morning, family. How we doing today? Good morning, traders. How we doing? T. Dot, Sean, Scott, two-way in the house. My boy Ken back. We got the users in the house. We got Philip Wilton, the shark attack.
We got a good question here, though. We got Fiaz says, maybe Mitch can help. He said, do you recommend TradeNet for a beginner, or should I paper trade first?
Well, this is what I think is, and I'm going to tell you as straight as I can give it to you. So I think first thing you need to do is establish a strategy. First thing to do is establish a strategy before you even think of of what package or where you're going to trade. First things first, take it easy. First, establish a strategy. Then you can go ahead and go to paper trading first. That's what I think is first, just to even trade the strategy a couple times so you can execute. But one thing you need to remember, paper trading is not about making money. I'll repeat this. Paper trading is not about making money. It's about learning execution. It's about mastering your execution of the strategy that you want to implement in your live trading. So then once you go ahead and you figured out that this is the strategy I'm going to use and I can trade it on paper, I want to go ahead and go live to see how I can handle my emotions, one, and how well I can execute that strategy in a live environment. And that's when I would recommend you go to TradeNet, because what TradeNet is going to give you is going to give you that ability to have that low commission rate, let you trade as much as you want. And also for beginner traders, I recommend to look into shorting. A lot of people talk about how longs go stair-stepping up, but they go elevators down. So you need to find someone that can help you go both ways. Let's say your strategy is a short strategy. Find someone that helps you. And I think TradeNet really helps in that aspect because you can go long and short on both sides of the trade. And so this can help you with your strategy. So that's what I would recommend. You know, I'm not trying to overly push TradeNet, but I really think it definitely supports the beginner trader that's trying to learn how to trade live with the small sizing so that they can go ahead and implement that live emotion and get through those waves, those first early waves of day trading.
Yeah, for sure. And usually we don't even push anything that first hour or so. Like, we don't usually push anything the first hour or two in the morning, but we had a question about it. And so, you know, if you want the link for it, this will get you a discount. I think it's $375 during the sale, and the sale's going to be going on until tomorrow, I think. I think it ends tomorrow. There's the spot pushing over that previous closing price, but I actually agree with Mitch. I think you're going to have to get used to real money at some point in time. Paper trading is good for testing. But you're not going to be able to emulate real money with paper. It's not going to be the same. Emotions are going to be crazy different. And so you're going to have to learn with real money at some point. And I think learning with a small account like on TradeNet, where you're risking $400 only instead of thousands, I think that makes sense for a new trader. You're probably going to lose it too, to be fair, to be honest. You're probably going to lose your first account. Doesn't matter where you go. Doesn't matter if it's through TradeNet and Taps or if it's through TD Ameritrade. You're probably going to lose your first account. And so be prepared for that. I know it's a buzzkill, but most traders lose. And you want to be ready for that.
Yep, like always, guys, the best mentor that we have said it best. You know, you don't need to know if you're going to win or lose in any one trade. The only thing you can know is if you have an edge, if that's your strategy, and implement that strategy. That's it. That's all we do here, guys. We implement strategies and we see our results, but we don't base our trades from those results. That's really the key here, guys, is that you take trades based off your strategy. You don't take them based off your results.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, Troy, yeah, we're charging for this chat room. That's absolutely free.
No, I think he's look, it's the Troy guy again. You were charging from this chat room. No, we don't. We don't charge for anything.
That's why I was laughing.
Like I said,
I was
some people.
Yo, if you're paying somebody, you must be paying someone in Africa or somebody because
Right,
you're not paying me.
Yeah, you're not paying me either, man. But yeah, yeah, everything we put out there is free. Like you could become a channel member, but even we tell people like that's just a good way to help support our channel. Like yeah, we got some behind the scenes stuff, but like to be honest, we barely put anything out, and it's just a great way to help support our channel. You know what I mean? And so we just did that because YouTube unlocked it. But you know, don't feel any obligation to do that. Like we're not pushing that. We never even mentioned that. And so if people want to click below it, you know, that's cool. But yeah.
Dude, you can't really talk when your last name is Kid.
Right. Well, no, he's an old guy. You should know this dude. That dude Troy, he's an old person. He used to be here a long time ago, and this dude would make up the most ridiculous gains. This dude would be like, "I'm up 50 grand today. Just started yesterday," and everybody in the chat was like, "Sure you are, buddy." You know. And then all of a sudden, then he was buying an intro package on TradeNet, and it's like, dude, if you were up 40 grand, why are you buying an intro package, bro? That doesn't make any sense. And so he's just one of those wannabe heroes that get insecure now and try to criticize us. But it's cool. We're going to move on from it. You know, I banned him. I'm not going to argue with negativity here.
I just thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I don't know who you're paying, bro, but...
Right, we don't charge for anything, man. Nothing. Like, I don't charge... of course, I post referral links, but I don't charge for anything.
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, for sure. Probably not. Gold. Probably not, man.
All right, guys. Let's go ahead and get to some stocks. Let's talk some stocks. What are you guys thinking? Is this the bottom?
Well, market just popped up here, man. Where it's the second.
Yeah, it's going
day.
It's going to 245s, just based on imbalances. There's huge buy imbalances because of the stimulus bill. But that's why I'm asking you guys. I'm going to go ahead and ask the chat, what are you guys thinking about the SPY versus me go ahead and tell you guys what I think. Let's go ahead and first see what the chat thinks.
Yeah, and I was going to say one thing. First, that dude started criticizing me because I wasn't profitable, and now that I am profitable, he's criticizing me because I'm barely profitable. And so in the end, don't be desperate, guys. You know what I mean? Like, I'm on my own journey. I'm trying to build my account like I am. I never claimed to be profitable, you know? My channel's called Beginner Trading. I mean, what do you really expect here, you know? Yeah, exactly, Gold. Exactly, man. He would just make up a bunch of stuff. Like, dude, no, people in the chat would message me and they'd be like, hey, this dude's annoying. He's just making up stuff. Like, he said he just started trading a week ago, and he's all of a sudden using crazy big size. He was just, like I said, he's one of those heroes that desperately try to tell everybody how good they are. They never show anything, and then they criticize anybody that actually does. You know what I mean? Like, there's some of those heroes. And you'll experience those people in the trading world. I've experienced them a ton running this channel. They happen, man. You'll see people like that all the time, you know. And in the end, usually they're insecure with their own life, and so they need to kind of put something out there to make themselves feel better, and they need to put other people down to make themselves feel better. And like, that's kind of how it goes, you know, psychologically speaking. But you know, it is what it is. People like that happen. It's all love.
All right, guys, let's get into some stocks here. So what are you guys thinking about the SPY? Is this the bottom? What do you guys think about your stimulus bill? Are you guys happy with your $1,200 check, or what's going on?
Hey, man. I hope the market does better. I'm ready for it to go back up.
I'm still a bear, guys. I'm still a bear.
Pay zero minds with the haters.
Who wants to sleep with the bear?
Not me.
Who's going into hibernation with me?
Not me. No. I think the market will drop some. Just to give you a little nugget there. I think the market's going to drop some. But I don't know for how long, and I think once the coronavirus passes, it'll bounce right back.
Yeah, I love the market talk today. It's going to be really fun, you know. I think we're going to have a bullish day still. The only thing that I would definitely pay attention to, guys, is my idea today should be a buy day. Tomorrow should be a fade day. Why? Because we're starting to get financial numbers tomorrow, economical numbers. And that's what's going to destroy this bill, at least in my eyes.
Yeah.
You can bring as much money as you want in, but if that much money leaves, then how much money are you really bringing in?
Yeah, we're still not past yet, though, and I think we gotta We got to see it pass first. There's
Oh,
one thing I've learned.
we've already at least gotten the agreement.
Yeah.
The agreement's been passed. It hasn't been signed, but it's been agreed.
Yep.
And it's been agreed upon. This was released by the Washington Post.
Yeah.
I'll put up the quote here.
Yeah, so there's the expected passage of the stimulus bill. So people are assuming it's going to pass, and I think it probably will. To be fair, I think it probably will. I think this is super necessary, and I think that it's going to need to get passed. I think this is one of the few times in history where the Democrats and the Republicans are just going to have to get along and just get it done. And somebody mentioned it earlier. The real hero of this story is Mark Cuban putting everybody on blast. My man putting everybody on blast today, telling people to do their ish, and like get it done. Stop whining and arguing. Stop trying to throw a bunch of nonsense in there. Both sides.
Just remove all of it, and then just limit the corporation abuse.
Right. Well, the problem is that the liberals tried to throw in a bunch of crap too, right? And so the liberals tried to sneak a bunch of unnecessary, irrelevant stuff in, and so the conservatives were like, no. Conservatives tried to throw in a bunch of tax credits and buybacks, and a bunch of benefits and bonuses to corporations, and liberals said no. And so
I did a little research. The two major things that I'll say one from each side. The Democrats tried to push new kind of environmental policy, bringing it back, and also hitting the airlines with big environmental kind of watches and regulations that they need to watch. What happened was the Republicans really didn't like that because they felt, you guys are pushing energy with something that has to do with coronavirus. And then the Republicans were really trying to push in there about that the Treasury, Munish, I think his name is, that he could decide where the loans went. And this was the other hidden news, that the loans could be given out 6 months, and then you would find out who got the loans. I didn't like that one either. Democrats didn't like that one either. Because it just made it look like, if Trump was trying to protect certain companies, let other companies go. And that's what the Democrats really didn't like also. So that's just to put both sides and what was one of the major topics that they were fighting on.
Makes sense. I mean, let me see. Somebody said I could have sworn it passed. It didn't pass yet. It's close, and I think it'll probably pass today, but not yet.
Yeah, I think what you can expect would be look for a presidential addressing at like 5 Eastern time. If you hear that come out, that's when I would go ahead and support the bill more and more, because we all know that Trump likes to, let's say, pout when he gets something done. So if he does get it done, look for those tweets, look for the speech, because he'll definitely be out there supporting his making America great again. Even though I've still yet to find out when we were not great.
Right. Yeah, honestly, we're a great country, and we really are. Like I said, I've been dogging the conservatives for a little while now, but we're a great country. Objectively speaking, we're a good country. People travel from all across the world to try to come here for a lot of different reasons. And as much as I'm fiscally conservative in some ways, I think we should have public education is the one thing that I don't want to bend on, and I do think our healthcare is a mess. But I think objectively speaking, we're a pretty good country, and I think people try to come here for a reason, because we have a high standard of living. Objectively speaking, people try to act like we don't. We certainly do. We have a great standard of living, and that's why people try to come here. And in the end, I'm happy to be born here, certainly.
Well, I wasn't born here, but
right,
definitely an American.
Right. 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 100%.
Put it this way, even if I moved anywhere in the world, I'd still consider myself an American.
Right. 100%. And you are, and
That's how it is.
right.
You know,
It is what it is.
we got to support our country at the end of the day. We definitely are getting the feds willing to save the market at any cost. My thing is, economical data usually affects the market more than monetary or fiscal policy. And so that's what I'm really paying attention to. That's what I want to see. I heard numbers of Great Britain unemployment rising to over 10% when they were only at 2.4%. That's a huge increase in unemployment. Massive.
For sure. Well, people are getting laid off right now. People are getting laid off. Yeah, we've had a few people here that said they got laid off, and that's why looking out for businesses is important here as well, because people are getting laid off because businesses are having to close. And so if you don't work for a huge company, even if you do, but if you don't work for a huge company, a lot of people can't do business. People,
and
yeah.
I think this has a lot to do with also the lending that's done by corporations. There's a lot of these small companies that get put out and get loans that they shouldn't get. I don't mean to be the kind of deterrent to small business, but at the end of the day, a lot of these companies are what they call zombie companies, to where their debt is much, much bigger than what they can provide to the economy.
Right,
and
sure.
Thus creating pressure on our debt system. And so I think one of the things that happens also is that when times like these, I don't agree with just giving a Band-Aid to everyone. I think there needs to be some kind of economical standards for what we can save and what we cannot save. And I think
100%.
there is none right now. And I don't think that's
wise. That's not wise.
Standard to last.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a bad look for the economy to just say that we don't care what you do, we'll bail you out.
Right. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's a new situation that we haven't experienced before, and so there's gonna be some pains that come with that. 100%.
Don't worry, we got a bigger Band-Aid.
Yeah. But it's tough, man. People are gonna get laid off. People have gotten laid off. It's going to be hard. People aren't going to be able to support themselves while they're home, and they're going to have a hard time finding jobs right now. Even YouTube's lowering their bandwidth because everybody's online right now. That's why our streams are getting less views lately, is because they're not showing to the subscription feeds because they're lowering the bandwidth on their entire platform in the US and globally. So there's going to be a lot of different things that are going on right now, and it's a tough, different situation that we've never experienced before.
All right, guys, gonna be watching Rad big time, guys. You guys know I've been big bullish on this one. You can see the hourly chart really creating a flag here. We've gotten 3 resistance touches. I think today, if we get above 17, we should be looking well. Right now, we're around 1650s. SPY keeps creating resistance at 245, so watch that towards the open. And we'll see what we get, guys. I definitely want to keep Rad on my watch. I'm going to keep a stock that's been moving back fast, which is Space. I'm also going to watch ENPH, as that one's been bouncing big, and CGC at the open.
All right, guys, let's get ready.
Yeah, I think for unemployment, you're going to first see in the 10%. And then the following month is where I would see the 20% hit, just because it's either going to get. This is my thing. So the situation isn't as critical as people think right now. The criticalness would actually come 2 or 3 weeks from now, and that's why I think Trump's trying to really bring the economy back up and running, is because he knows that in 2 or 3 weeks is when we're really going to start hitting those debt concerns. You can defer one payment, you can't defer 2 or 3. You can try to work something out with your lender to push it back 1 month and pay a substantial fee or something like that. But at this point, I think we're definitely going to get towards that point in the crunch where companies either pull back their guidance on earnings, thus hitting the market even worse, or the debt crunch is going to start hitting harder and harder unless these companies get the substantial loans they need. Another thing to watch is going to be oil. Oil keeps getting hit harder and harder and harder. Let's see when oil rebounds. That can also help the market. Most people aren't talking about oil, but it's a big factor in the market.
Yep, 100%.
Here's those two 45s we're approaching. Let's see if we can break out above it. There you go. There's a push.
We got about 1 minute, team. Let's do this. Everybody hit that like button. We got 172 people in here. Smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Let's do this. Here's the bell. We'll be day trading live every single weekday morning for free, like we always do right here on YouTube. But yeah, it should be a fun day. That stimulus bill gets passed. Be careful, team. You know, because we're gonna see a surge if it does. All right, guys, we got 40 seconds left. Let's do this.
Nike looked good today on earnings. I just don't like to trade earnings right now, so I'm leaving earnings alone. Why don't I like to trade earnings right now, guys? It's just because, to me, I think that earnings don't hold right now. They need the market to support it. So on days like this, yeah, Nike could go up because the market's supporting the earnings that came out. So there's two things that are helping it there, but I personally am staying away from trading earnings until the market has decided where it's going.
For sure. All right, guys, here's the bell. Good luck, team.
Okay, major watch also, guys. You guys saw me make over $1 trade on this one yesterday.
Big drop on MU, down to 43.50s.
Think I'm gonna look at the tech sec to be pulling back a little bit, and secs that been weak to push up. Oh my god, did you see that flip in the SPY?
Yeah, big drop, man. It's testing that if it breaks under the previous close. Yeah,
this is about to freeze.
If it breaks under the previous close, I'm shorting into some of this move. There's the previous close break. Once it pulls back to that, I'm gonna look for it to hold its resistance and short into a few stocks. Small size at the open, a little bit early, but that's what I'm gonna look for.
AMD down big there. MU even bigger. Looking for MU.
Alright, so we are popping back above the previous close until we get back below that. I'm going to look for a low of the day break here, actually. If the SPY breaks this low down here at 242.50, I'm going to hop in some short in a few stocks. There we go. We broke 200. We're back to our former glory on this channel.
That former.
Yep. The stimulus bill has been passed. Apparently, according to somebody. Let me check. I can check it real quick.
Yep.
Hold on, let me see.
Big sweep there. Big recovery there.
I'm not seeing anything.
My spread is too big on AMAT for me to attack it right now. I'm going to stick to more CGC.
Let me see.
Tighter spread.
I'm going to look this up real quick. Best place to look is probably actually Twitter. Let's look at old Trump and Trump's Twitter.
Space looking good, guys. I'll look for a VWAP bounce play on that one. MU at VWAP.
There he is. Not seeing anything yet. Big pullback, so it's plausible that it did happen. I'm seeing a big move in the market right now.
Big drop right there.
SPY moving up. Broke highs of the day. Big move. Might pull some red to green moves here. Might get into a few little red to green moves if we can. We get a little bit of a pullback with some of these. I might long into them, get a pretty tight risk. I'm looking at AMD specifically here.
Just thinking about getting short MU, but MU look good for a swing, but it's big range on that one. It's hard to master right now.
Which way, long or short?
I actually liked it short, just because it just set up that way. Now, I'm not trying to overreact or overlook it. It still had the short potential there.
Yeah.
There's rad coming up there, guys, up there to 1650s. It's pushing on up. You could look at space. Space looks like a good setup too.
I'm in with 100 shares of AMD. I'm gonna try to scalp this if we can get it. And if not, just jump out. It'll be a small trade regardless. Market's moving up, so. Took half off there. Just a little quick scalp here. I'm just scalping this move really quickly. Getting a little bit of a pullback. I could add my sizing right back. Alright, I just got out of there for a $23 win. Just a quick scalp. Like I said, I'm just trying to scalp the market's volatility. Market's heading up looking strong. I could scalp into some